welcome to the Truth in Bikinis live broadcast. And today we're going to be asking a question pretty much. Do you think good girls or this good girl mindset that's pushed onto a lot of young girls, from early childhood through the media we consume, from our parents, do they actually get rewarded? And is there actually a benefit to it? Or is it some sort of facade and a lie that for some odd reason, or like when you're being, morally upright by the standards of others, that means that you're going to be rewarded at the end of the day. Like there's a reward, you're going to receive something, like waiting for marriage, refusing to go for parties, not wearing trousers, only wearing long skirts, things like that, right? Is there a reward for those things in all actuality? That's what I want to discuss. I'm just going to ask for you guys' perspectives. MID, on what do you think? Is there a reward for behaving morally upright in the eyes of society?
Okay, good afternoon. Okay, I would say that it's just two ways. Good girls are rewarded in a healthy environment and are exploited in an unhealthy environment. And then, yeah, in healthy environments, good girls tends to be respected. They get long-lasting opportunities, stable relationships, and so on. And then, in an unhealthy environment, they tend to be exploited. They tend to use them. Yes. And then I would also say this, that good girls get rewarded when they meet good guys, in terms of that relationship wise, and then they get to be exploited when they meet bad guys. So, good girls, one thing our environment does, they tend to tell the ladies, oh, good girl, do the good girl, be able to endure any shame, any shit you take, and so on and so forth. But so they just go about living life, enduring everything, not respecting boundaries because, oh, the fear of me being mean, the fear of me speaking up. And you tend to see that some of these girls, they fall into different sort of, let's say, abuse and so many negative things, and they will not even speak up because they are just trying to be good girls, and that is what the society teach them. So there's a difference between you being a good girl and you being a healthy lady. A healthy lady in the sense that, oh, okay, you have your morals, but at the same time you set standards for yourself. You set boundaries for yourself. I'm not doing this, but at the same time you don't tolerate any form of shit from anybody. So that's one thing I would say, that good girls, they are rewarded in an healthy environment that understands that, oh, this is how it should be, environment that don't exploit, environment that don't just advise you to take shit, but rather they advise you that you should be able to speak up for yourself, you should be able to set boundaries, you should not be ready to be used, because that's one thing. Some good girls are actually used because they are, let's say, they are taught to shut up, they are groomed to always keep quiet, so they are used, they are often used in different aspects. So good girls are used, or yes, exploited in an unhealthy environment, or based on the kind of people they meet, but they are rewarded in healthy environment, and also the caliber or the certain type of people that they meet. Yes, and also the kind of boundaries that they set for themselves. Thank you. That's what I think about good girls being rewarded or exploited.
And you've gotten the question, do you really think being good, morally upright in the eyes of society, like, is there an actual reward for it? Or is that just, some sort of made up concept? And if there's nuance in between, you know, two things can be true at once. I would really love to hear your perspective.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay, so I think the idea of being a good girl so that you can get rewards kind of like a bit lost on the whole idea is for me I feel like doesn't necessarily reward you for being good. I don't think that life necessarily rewards you for being good. For instance, if you want to get married, most people think that being a virgin gives you the best husband, but it's a lie. That you're a virgin, that you kept yourself is not necessarily a bad thing. But the truth is that if you do not understand exactly what you want from marriage, and understand the kind of person you want, and you know how to tailor your relationship according to what you desire, you're going to end up with the worst of them all, because you are not going to be getting rewarded for being a virgin. Life doesn't behave like that. So I think that more beyond being a good girl, more beyond being morally upright, is of understanding how life works. Understand how the fact that there are rules regarding certain environments, certain endeavors, certain anything that you get into, there are rules. For work, there are rules. For wealth, there are rules. For relationship, there are rules. And you are going to get rewarded according to the level that you have been obedient to the rules regarding that particular environment. For instance, if you're someone who wants to make a lot of money, you cannot say, oh, because I go to church a lot, I'm going to be rich. Oh, because I pray twice a day, I'm going to be rich. Not because all of those practices are wrong in themselves, but because there are rules according to that particular environment. If you want to make wealth, you are going to have to be someone who understand your finances, who understand that they need to go to a job and they need to earn money, they need to save, they need to make investments, they need to get into more than maybe one skill or maybe one endeavor just to multiply money. And so if I say, oh, and if at the end of the day I'm a very poor person, and then I go and say, oh God, I prayed 3 times a day, I used to fast, I did all of those things, and why am I poor? Does it make any sense? Like, why won't you be poor? I saw a video the other day. This guy went to an herbalist and was like, oh, I want to be very rich. So the guy is like, okay, so you want to be very rich. The herbalist is like, okay, so are you the son of Dangote? No. Do you have any relationship with me? No. Okay, do you have a job? No. At this point, the guy is already confused. Okay, do you have a skill, something that you do to make money? He says no. So how do you want to be rich? The guy is like, yeah, I'm going to rely on you to make me rich. Like, you're going to use your powers and you give me a lot of wealth. And the guy just broke down and started to laugh like, what? Like, I'm in the bush here and you are coming to meet me in the bush. Like, if I could be rich, would I be in this bush? Something like that. Because it's funny how sometimes we tend to relate all of the wrong things, maybe because of the way we've been taught, because of the way our culture is, the fact that people think that, oh, if you are good, life will just fall in place for you. It will not. In fact, I think that the most morally upright people are the ones that suffer the most in the world. They're the ones who get all the bad deals in the world, because we just have this mentality that, oh, if I'm morally upright, everything just falls in place for me. It's a terrible mentality. It's a useless mentality, and it's not going to serve you. And in the end, God will still be God. Nothing is going to happen. Like, you go die, you go throw away, you go waste, anything can happen to you, and life will still go on. And I mean, life will just go on like nothing happened, because nobody's to be blamed for your obvious lack of understanding that this is how life actually works. Nobody says you shouldn't be morally upright, for real. Like, I mean, you can be morally upright. It's a good thing. I mean, it's a very good thing. Why? Because it reduces the complications in your life. Why do I say so? Like, if you're someone who tells lies a lot, you are going to have to be someone who has to come up with a new lie, because sometimes you forget the lie that you lied before, and in a bit to cover it, you go and uncover that one, and then you have to lie another lie. It's stressful. For me, I think it's stressful. If you're someone who double dates, if you're someone who cheats, if you're someone who is just not a straightforward person, your life is going to be very complicated. And I think that it's simpler to actually live. That's a simple life gives you that moral side of it, just gives you a simpler lifestyle. but it doesn't guarantee you of anything for life. Nobody owes you anything because you're a virgin. Like, you walk into a place and you're like, oh, I'm the righteous person here. I'm supposed to be promoted. And everybody's like, you're the most lazy person here. You're the one who comes to work late. You're the one who doesn't bother to meet up to his deadline. You're the one who doesn't even show up extra. How do you want to be promoted? And all you have is that, oh, I'm the one who prays a lot. I'm the one who knows God the most. I'm the one who loves to do the things of God. I'm the one who, I'm the one who has plenty moral deeds in my backpack. So I'm the one who deserves all the goodies. For me, I just feel like, look, good girls don't necessarily get rewarded because life does not reward you according to your level of morality. Life rewards you according to your understanding of life itself, of the principles of life. And that's just it for me. Thank you. Hello? Emmanuel, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. It seems like mental breakdown or something. Anyway, so let's just continue the discussion. So I just feel like, as long as good as moral things are, as good as being a good girl is, you don't there's really no relationship, direct correlation with your moral standards with how life rewards you. I mean, there are people who think that, oh, because I dress properly, I'll probably get the job. But you walk into a hall and they're testing your experience. They're testing your understanding of what you're about to do. They're not really testing if you went to church. They're not testing if you are someone who, oh, I'm the one who's going to be righteous. I'm the one who's going to show up on time. They're testing if you know exactly what this job is about and if you can deliver on the job. And if you are someone who doesn't add work, you don't add understanding, you don't add wisdom to your morality, I'm sorry to say that you're going to just always end up at the wrong side. You're going to end up getting the bad deals in life. Like I said before, being a virgin doesn't guarantee you of a good man. In fact, being a virgin is one of the reasons why you are probably going to marry a madman. That's just it. Being a virgin is the reason. Because if you carry that virginity on your head and you say, oh, I'm a virgin, I'm entitled to good men, you are going to be easy to deceive. You are going to be very easy to deceive. And you're going to believe anything any guy says, and which is what women do a lot. And which is what those men who are going to come to you are going to be doing. They are going to be like, oh, yeah, oh, once they know that you're a virgin who believes certain things, they are just going to say, okay, let's take advantage of the fact that she's ignorant of how life works. And so when they come, they say, oh, I wanted to marry a virgin. I really am going to be a good man if I can just find a virgin to marry. And you'll be like, oh, this is my man. And then you go and settle with a criminal. Meanwhile, what you should have been looking out for in marriage, you did not check it out. You did not bother to find. You did not bother to get knowledge on it because you just felt that if I'm a virgin, everything works for me. It's just like somebody who says that, oh, somebody who's a virgin. And no, there are people who make a lot of judgments about life depending on what level of morality they could engage. Like people would say something like a prostitute doesn't stand a chance of getting married. But we see them a lot. There are a lot of these girls who get sometimes they even marry some of the correctest guys. I'm not even going to say like they marry some solid guys who are willing to, like, because their lives are out there open. So any man who comes to them already understands, okay, this girl used to be in this business and I'm ready to stick with her because maybe I've seen something that I want in her. But this other girl that says, oh, I'm a virgin, I'm morally upright, yes, they are just things, and then they'll be so I don't know, their sight is so myopic that they really cannot see beyond their virginity. And so they can easily get into trouble. The same thing with people who go to church a lot. People who go to church always think, because I go to church, I should be favored. But it really does not work like that. Yes, there's a place for all of those things, but you cannot bring it and say, this is why I should be this. You can't say, oh, because I go to church a lot, this is why I should make a lot of money. I've already said it before. Or because if you are not actively working at something, actively getting paid, actively investing, there's no way you are going to make money. There's no way. If you like live in the church, you're going to be very poor. So I think that's just my take. Thank you.
Okay. I think yeah, two things can be true at once. Good people in like bad negative environments. If you're in a bad environment, when you have this, good is going to carry me. I did this and I did that. But those things are not in direct what do you call it, like those things are not directly connected towards the things that you're hoping for, you understand? Like let's assume you go to church every Sunday, right? Yeah, that's good and dandy, but that's not the same as investing in stocks, or making sure that you're putting your all in your work and your business. That's not those are two different things. And I think a mistake a lot of people feel like, because I'm doing this thing and it's good, this completely unrelated thing is
Mute your mic.
they now feel like this completely unrelated thing is now going to prosper because they are doing something good here, right? For example, like we said, when it comes to waiting for marriage and virginity, they would assume that the virginity is going to attract them a higher caliber of man, a good man, a caring man. But in all actuality, these people they are not, they don't really choose, oh, I'm not going to treat this woman badly because she waited, I'm going to treat this woman. No. If they are of poor character and you have the inability to spot that, if you have the inability to stand up for yourself, speak up for yourself, discern, have strong boundaries, you will be caught up by them. Especially you, in fact, especially you that pride your virginity and your purity, because there you've given them something to hold against you, something that you value so much, something that's your entire identity. So even when you guys get married and you lose it, and you understand the kind of, if they're an abusive person, they would have that power over you. In a way, they can use that insecurity over you. They can use that, the fact that now that you've lost it, you can't really have a full sense of self. I've seen there's a woman that she makes content, almost all her content, she just talk about how, she married a virgin, she married a virgin. She's not a virgin again, no. She has given birth to 3 children, but that's kind of her. And you can tell that this is this woman's biggest accomplishment. It's not about getting her degree. It's not about getting a promotion at work or increasing her income. She doesn't make content about any facet of life that she has grown. She just likes making videos about how she married a virgin and she's better than other people because of that. It has nothing to do with the quality of their marriage. Someone can marry a virgin and it's a bad marriage, it's a bad person they got married to, they are not compatible. And then there's another person that did the opposite and they are thriving, right? And it's interchangeable too. Like someone can also not wait, and they don't wait, and then they go and marry someone that's horrible and someone that's mean and is a bad person. The woman can wait and marry a good person. These things is not specific as to, because I did this moral thing, that this was the end result. You understand? It's something that it could happen to anybody. It could happen to anybody. All these realities, all these things, it can happen like to anybody. It's just that, are you doing something? Are you making efforts? Are you trying to avoid certain realities? Are you trying to get certain realities? Okay, you cannot tell me, because there are so many people that you would consider on immoral, evil people, unkind people. You find out some of the meanest people, most unkind people, most bankrupt morally people are doing so well. In fact, they're doing so well, they're comfortable, they're happy, they are satisfied, they feel fulfilled, they are living their life, and all you can do is look at them and it's just pain. Instead of you to look at them and see, oh, is there something that they're doing that I'm not? This does not mean go and overindulge in, stupid things. Because there are people that they live an immoral life, but they also don't apply any principles of life, or any ethic or anything like that. And they end up in the gutter. They turn into mad people or something like that. it's just trying to say you need to do more than assume your goodness is going to be rewarded. Being good to people can be rewarding in the sense that maybe that person that helped will not come and remember you in the future, or people would have noticed that you were kind or you were good, and then later maybe other people that knew you. But it's not really going to work in the sense that you just go to a brand new place, nobody knows you from anywhere, and because you were kind to someone in Ghana, now that you're in Canada, that Canada and Ghana have no connection, that means people will not be good to you there. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Actions are like their actions and their reactions. Every action has a reaction. Everything that is done, something is going to happen. If you're promiscuous, you have a higher rate of catching something, and that's not specifically because the promiscuous person was so bad, and that's just a consequence of an action. But at the same time, you can still be a married person, waited to marriage, and still catch something, and that will be the consequence of your partner's action. So I think people need to sit down and think a lot more deeply, reason things, actually ask why, you know, go in depth of why things are happening, what can I do to change it, why is it working for this person that is not working for me. Actually deep it, what is this rich person doing that I'm not doing? Okay, and if it is something that doesn't infringe upon your morals, the things you consider right and wrong, apply it and grow. Okay, you can't just sit down and be looking at someone that's being a bad person and be like, why are good things happening for them? And good things happen to anybody. Good things can happen to anybody, bad things can happen to anybody, regardless of anything. I remember when I was younger, there was this one girl that I knew that she was so mean. Like, she was not nice, she wasn't kind, like she just really did something to me. And then after I now graduated secondary school and stuff, like I just noticed everything was just falling in line for this girl. Like, you would expect, oh, with this girl being so wicked and mean and not nice, like, oh, she's going to karma. Which kind karma? Living her best life. Went to has a very nice school, has a very loving, supporting system. You understand? She will just come and gist, hear her gist about how she should be in school, and then people buying her things and gifts for her birthday and this and that and that. And me, I'm just like, as this girl is mean like this, why everybody just showing her so much love and so much care, and I'm like, me uncle, me that I'm even nice, me I'm always trying to be nice, you understand? It's not even really about that. It's about knowing how to play the game. I need someone else like that in secondary school again. Very wicked, mean girl. Mean girl like this. I'm not even playing her was mean. But every time on her birthday, her gifts can fill her entire bed. The gifts that people would give her. And it wasn't necessarily because people that were even giving her gifts, they liked her, or she was so good, or she was such a friendly person. It was simply because she had a way of just commanding an authority over people, make you feel like, oh, you should listen to her, and make you feel like, and it made it that I don't even know how to describe this girl's presence, but the way she would move, people will not like her, but they'll give her a gift. People will talk somehow about her, but they want to be so nice towards her. Number one, because she managed to capture everybody's approval but disapproval. Like, I don't even know. But the girl just had some protection systems and things and it was just the way she carried herself and went about it, talking to people and stuff. You can't just do this girl anyhow. People respected her. People even feared her. You understand? And then there's now someone that's now just there and just being nice. They don't know how to play the game. They don't know how to apply these things. And then you now feel like, oh, because she's mean and wicked, you understand, she's not going to receive good things in life. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. If you know how to work the system, if you know how to operate in this world, people like Elon Musk, people in politics, powerful people, even people like Jeffrey Epstein. You look at these people, you look at the things that they have done, you look at the things that they are pushing. You understand? Even Mark Zuckerberg, you go into their history and find out these people are not that good. They're not. Some of them didn't go to church. Some of them they are not even doing this. Some of them, but they're doing well. They're succeeding. They are making a lot of money. They are comfortable. They're living a life where they feel fulfilled. And sometimes it stems from that their wickedness that's even helping them to make money. So, you know, I don't think there's a reward for being good. I, I think the world just rewards playing the game, working the system, knowing how to obey those principles of life, you know, not just working hard, but working smart, strategizing, um, learning from others' mistakes, and things like that. If you're not applying anything and you just expect the world to magically be good to you, you're dead wrong. You're dead wrong. So, uh,
Alright.
Google doesn't pay. Google doesn't pay, and there's no direct reward for it. And the kind of rewards you get are not as big as people would think. And when I say good girl, I'm not talking about being kind or being loving or being caring. I mean those stereotypical set of rules that they just feel makes a girl quote unquote good. Like she doesn't go out, she doesn't wear short dresses, she doesn't drink, she doesn't smoke, she doesn't. You understand those types of stereotypical rules that are subjective. I'm not talking about actual goodness, but even if that goodness may still not, if you know how to be strategic with it, people that just know how to move, they end up being the ones that get rewarded because they realize that, oh, it's not just being nice, it's not just smiling. So that's what I think. Anyways, my Joe, let me ask you another question. What advice would you give any girl that you see that's in the good girl pipeline? Okay, someone that's a stereotypical good girl, right? What would you tell her? A young girl that's trying to navigate herself in this world. What advice would you give her?
Okay. I would say the advice I would give to such a girl is that no matter where you are or who you meet, don't let your guard down. Don't just let them down. Because sometimes people use these good girls of a thing to manipulate people. They use it to manipulate young ladies. Yes, I thought you were a good girl. So why is this a problem? So they expect you to keep short and all. So I would advise you, if you have your boundaries, set them. Be strict on them. Don't let anybody use any of those things to manipulate you. Do what you think is right. Open your eyes. Don't just close your eyes. You just, let's say for instance, there is this example I that came across my mind. You see, there is this time when we want to pay for something in campus in school. We want to pay for something, or let's just say register, and they will tell everybody, or maybe get something. They'll tell you everybody just stand on a straight line. You see, sometimes the people that now that are saying, okay, I'm the good girl, they will stand on that straight line, and then somebody will just maneuver from nowhere, boom, will find themselves in front. And then you that is doing the good girl, you the thing itself will finish, and then you are still there. Oh, they say I should, let me just obey and stand. Whereas you don't know that this life, sometimes you need to struggle for certain things. And then those girls that just came out from nowhere, boom, will come to the front. They will just find a way, and then tell this one, shift, I bet shift, they open their eyes. And then at the end, they will first of all get it done. Yes, I've had an example like that. I think it was back then in school, whether year one or year two, they told us to stand there. Me, I've been there. Oh, I stood there, held my papers. I stood there and I didn't want to move first. But when I saw the way people were just doing gra gra, me, I was like, okay, me too, I should do this gra gra. I got there and I got my stuff signed and stamped. The other people that have been there still trying to observe the don't move lines, they were there, and they had to tell them to come back the next day. So you need to be aware of the environment that you are in the first place. If we are not telling you that don't be good, that's not what we are saying. Don't be good, but first of all, be aware of the environment that you are, and then don't just expect that you'll be rewarded because you are good. Do some certain things that you're supposed to do, Because sometimes good girls feel, okay, I'm good and then I'll be rich. I am good, I'm a good girl, I'll marry a good husband. I'm a good girl, and so on and so forth. No, that's not what we are saying. You are a good girl and then you are in a relationship. You are seeing some red flags in a young man, and then you think that because you are good, your goodness will change the red flags in that particular person. No, that's where you're getting it all wrong. Your being good now would not change anything in someone that is already a red billboard. That is one thing some girls do not understand. So they feel that, oh, as I'm a good girl, I can change anybody, I can change anything. No, you are a good girl, you cannot change anybody, you cannot change you. It is right for you to walk away. Some ladies feel like, when I say, they kind of feel they feel bad to move away from something that is not will I say not favoring them, because they feel that they are not actually doing, will I say, not being trying enough. Yes. So they feel that this particular person is this way, but they are feeling kind of, well, I'm trying to look for the right word there to use. So they feel like, oh, if I leave this person now, that's me being bad or being mean, and like I'm not trying enough. But that's not the thing. That's why you see some of these girls that don't send. Some of them, they tend to do well because they can just go into a relationship and boom, they just figure this out. Want to tell them, they'll be like, I'm not doing. I can't do with this. But you now, you see the young man or a certain place, and then you know that this place is just like this, but you want to bring in your morals. Mm-mm. Be a good girl, but set standards for yourself. Be a good girl, but use your number six in wherever you are. Be a good girl, but be aware of, in fact, even this good girl sef, let's just say, be a young lady, because the good girl is just sounding somehow. But just be a lady of your own, just be yourself. Use your number six. Be aware of the seat of the place that you are. If some certain cultures and traditions do not favor you, you have the right to stand against them. They are telling you as a young girl, oh, this is what you're supposed to do, this is what you're supposed to do, and you know that it is wrong. You just set your boundaries, you open up, you just say your mind, say things that you know aren't comfortable. And that's the mistakes a whole lot of them are making. And when you made mention of the person that you can go to Canada, what you did in Ghana that was good, and you going to Canada might not be good. I saw an example of a young man who went to, I think, US. He got there illegally, and then he saw some money on the floor. I think it was misplaced by someone. And then he now took that money to the higher authorities to go and return. And it was a huge amount of money. So to him, that was a good thing. I did something that he should be rewarded. So when he got there, they were like, oh, thank you so much for this. And it was along that line, they were like, okay, who are you? Where are your papers? And all of those things. So that was when they now realized that this man was illegal. He came into the country in an illegal way. And as a result of that, he was deported back to his country. So this is something that, in fact, him taking that money sef, him for don blow now, because it was a big amount of money. But him now trying to be a good person now had to be the reason why he was deported back to his country. So be good, but be aware of the people that you are being good to. And okay, the only thing I can say now is be good, but don't put yourself in a situation where you can be used, because there is a difference between you being good and you being used. Beware that you are being used, and then be bold to walk away when you are being used. Yes, that is what I can say. So be wise as a good girl that you are. Thank you.
I think that's really good. The advice I would give is, very similar to what you said. Try as much as possible to just understand what you're doing, understand the environment that you're in, which is very, very important. Is this an environment that facilitates certain behaviors? Of course, yeah, morals first, but at the same time, like that man that came to that country illegally, you are already illegal, you have already done something bad. Unless he has made a decision that he wants to go back to his country, fine. And but you're already doing something bad. You see money on the floor, the person lost it. I don't know what you wanted to do again. That's very, very I do understand. The world was not going to reward his behavior. The world was not going to reward him for returning that money. Even if he wasn't illegal, there's no reward. There probably wouldn't be any reward for returning the money, you know. That mainly happens in movies, and sometimes some people are just want to be nice and kind of like, well, take it. I'm glad you understand, but that's not a guaranteed it's going to happen. Know the environment you are. Be strict, be, understand yourself, stand up for yourself, also decide what is right and wrong for you, not just what someone is telling you or what people are pushing towards you. Make your own moral standing and stick to it. Okay, be able to decide what how do I feel about this thing, what do I how do I want, because the truth is that if you are just naive, you will be targeted. Predators will target you if you are naive and you really value, if you really value this uprightness, this goodness a bit too much, you'll be used. There's this show I was watching, Fallout. The main character is Lucy. Lucy comes from a place with very, very high morals, okay? The way they raise people there. So the people in this place she's from are objectively good people. They're very good people. They believe in justice, they believe in law, they believe in order, right? She left the environment and went to a new environment that was lawless, ruleless, like everything there was messed up. People will use you if you give them a chance. People will scam you. People will cheat you. And she has never experienced this before. But she now thought that the way she, that where she's from now, when you're good, there's a reward for being good in a way. You understand? She thought she can come with that mindset to this new environment, and she just needs to be good to people, and people will be good back, and people will be kind back. And she was so mistaken. And in order for her to survive in that new place that she went to, she had to change who she was completely. She had to, I mean, she still had her core foundational beliefs, but she realized that her beliefs don't match this setting. If she keeps moving the way she was moving before, she will end up. So you need to learn to adjust. Don't cause harm to anybody, don't hurt anybody, but also learn to adjust to your environment. Learn to wisen up, learn to be smart, learn to open your eyes, learn to observe. Okay, and just try your best to just educate yourself on these things, so that you're not the person that's left lacking, you're not the person that's made fun of, you're not the person that's laughed at, you're not the person that's used, you're not the person that's going to be abused, if you understand what I'm trying to say. So that's what I'm trying to say is that, as a young lady, as a young girl, do not feel morality and goodness is going to reward you. It can have its rewards, it can have its benefits, but in the long run, don't think that is going to sustain you, or that's going to be the thing that's going to change your life, and everything will fall in line. It doesn't always fall in line. Good things happen to bad people, bad things happen to good people, good things happen to good people, bad things happen to bad people. There's no real concrete, these people, this happens to them and this happens to them. And that's just how the world works, sadly. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say. I think we've come to conclude the live. It hasn't really been able to join us back, but we thank you everybody for joining. We're really grateful to be able to have this time with you guys. Every second, every minute you spend with us, we are grateful for it. This is a goodbye from the Truth in Bikinis live broadcast. Bye bye.
Bye.